Ready?
Hello, Marina. Thank you so much for joining me virtually today to talk about the rather profound creation of yours, Seconds in Eternity. And
Well,
the
it's
first thing,
all the pleasure is all mine. I
and
hope.
you're coming from where? You're filming from where?
Well, I live in Germany in Solingen. I'm based in Solingen. That's in between Düsseldorf and Cologne for those that do not know that. And yes, that's where I'm sitting right now. And that's where I'm talking to you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's the joys of Wild Sound is we get to meet these creators from across the globe and get a great
Yeah.
scope of films. So lovely to get to actually meet you in person. And I loved your film, I've got to tell you. And I thought it was really striking that the first thing that we see on screen is based on an idea by Marina Welsch. So I'd love to know where this idea came from for the film and maybe the journey of how it turned into this very evocative film.
Yes, I'm very happy to tell you, and thank you for having me.
Mhm.
Well, the story, well, I had the idea. I went pregnant with the idea, to put it in those words, after my brother passed suddenly at the age of 50, and I think we had a discussion like 10 weeks earlier. I didn't know he was going to die. He was in a wheelchair, but he was a happy person and he had a party the day before he died. He had friends over and everything, and we were just chatting over the phone, and I was very busy. I was about to go to Berlin. I had a certain invitation, and I didn't have much time. And I was like, "Oh, I'm in a hurry. Let's speak tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Someone I call you when I'm back." And this back never happened. And when he passed, I always had the feeling that I had to do something. I had to leave a legacy behind, something that survives me and is stronger than myself. And all the thoughts that I had, also during that pandemic and all the things that happened, people they were so full of fear. Everybody was full of fear, and I was sitting there and I thought, what is the worst feeling I could have? Is always fear. To me, it's fear. It was fear. It was fear of being not good enough, not old enough, or not young enough anymore, or the fear of closed doors, the fear of loss, the fear of everything. We're so full of fear that we keep forgetting to live. And I think I had this idea, and it's also another story that adds up to this decision to make my own movie. I met Tom DiCillo. He's the director of Living in Oblivion. It's like a cinematic, I think, masterpiece. Everything while shooting went wrong. It's a cult film, basically.
Cool.
Living in Oblivion from Tom DiCillo. And when I met him during a masterclass 2009 in Cologne, he said to me, Marina, you have to do your own thing. You're so creative. You have so many ideas. You can't just wait like a puppet on a string for someone to come and pull your strings and let you dance. If something is inside you that needs to be told, you have to do it yourself. And at that time, I didn't understand the meaning. I had the feeling, no, I wait until somebody casts me in, until somebody sees the gift I have to give. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always had the feeling, no, a casting director, they have to see it. Maybe I'm a bit different. Maybe I'm not totally average also, but there's room for all of us, isn't it? And I always thought I have to wait for that special moment until someone discovers me sitting here being ready to to be casted. But this
Yeah.
moment sometimes never happens. We all know that. We know that we're ready, that we want to shoot, that we want to show the world what we have to give and how we can touch people and what we have to contribute. But if you don't have the chance, the it will all be kept within yourself. And I had the feeling after this incident with my brother, this really shocked me in a way. And I had the feeling, okay, this, all I have to do, I don't know how much time I have left. So if there's anything, sorry for talking so much, but
Oh,
it's a
absolutely.
very intense feeling that is connected to that movie. And if you ever have something to tell or to give or to share, you better do it now. You don't know how much time you have left. and you shouldn't stop living before you're dead, and that made me think, well, I'm alive. My brother isn't anymore. In a way, it was also something I got from this sudden death, because I didn't expect it at all. And then I thought, okay, maybe this is still a gift I got in this very, very sad situation, that no procrastinations, no, I don't know, no hesitation. If you have the feeling you have to do something, then go for it. And this was the thing. I sat down and I wrote a storyline to Seconds in Eternity. The woman that sat there, she wants to give up on her life
Yeah.
up until this moment when she realized, why why giving up? We're gonna die anyways. That's so sure. This is the surest thing in the world. We're gonna die. Memento mori,
Yeah.
But until this moment comes, until it's over, you still have plenty of time left, and you should use it. Yeah, and this, I felt like, I don't know. It was some kind of yeah, it was some kind of a flame and enlightenment. I don't know how to call it, but I had the feeling you're still alive, so you better spread the word.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I could tell that there was something really strong driving this piece. It felt like every scene was permeating with that feeling. So you sharing that, I find, I think that will be very inspiring for all those actors sitting out there, twiddling their thumbs, checking their email, hoping somebody will pick them, and instead mine these big moments of your life and make sense of them through the art, so you can help share and also give yourself the chance to share your gift. So I think that's
I'm really glad that you can see that and that you could
yeah,
understand the message, to take out the noise here, and because it's a real heartfelt project. It's not just a movie. Oh, I make my movie. What could I do? What could I possibly do? I felt it, and then I just had to write it down. I sat there, and it I don't know, it bubbled out of me. It was like an offspring at that very moment. And I had the feeling I have to bring it into the world like a birth, because maybe even if I only touch one person with that, or spread hope, or spread, I don't know, be the right thing to see in the right moment. You never know if
yeah,
somebody is lost or depressed or whatever, and they also think, oh man, I'm already at this age and I didn't achieve much, or I didn't do this, or so many doors are closed. And then you sit there, and life changed, but
yeah.
not tremendously. It changed to a certain level. And I think when you accept that, it was such a strange thing for myself. And I felt alive in that moment when I had my project. I felt like, yeah, I do that, and let's see where it takes me. And then I was looking for someone to realize that with me. It wasn't so easy because it was during the pandemic,
Oh,
and people were very afraid, everybody running around with masks. And if you come up with an idea, I have an idea for a movie and I have to finance it myself, which I did it by myself.
well
And
done.
in that time, it was like, I had one friend that supported me throughout the process. And of course, I found Christian then, my director, but this wasn't so easy either. I was writing to film productions, and I said, I have this idea. Would you join me? Would you travel the path with me, or the journey? Are you daring to do that? It's an
Yeah.
adventure. We don't know what comes out of it. You never know when you start. And if your gut feeling is right, and if your intuition leads you to the right people. But obviously, we were under a very good star
Hmm.
somehow. Everybody was all in when I talked about this project, because I was so in love with my idea, and I simply couldn't let go. Some friends said, I forget that. That's a lot of money, and no, it will be wasted and it will never be finished, like so many short films. But it's not a short anymore, it's mid-length. And
Yeah.
also my famous friends, yeah, my very good friends, her name is Christina, and she's the wife of Michael Lesch, that plays the Buddhist in my movie. He was a famous German TV actor that that moved to Thailand. He immigrated to Thailand and he was like, oh no, I will never go in front of the camera ever again. And then he read this and then he said, well, maybe one more time because it's you and because you're so. And we didn't even know if we could fly to Thailand and shoot there to Phuket because of the restrictions. You were allowed to fly, then you weren't allowed, and you had to have vaccinations and the unvax. It was all a big mess, you know. And I was so determined, against all odds. I wanted to do this movie. It was like a vocation. I don't know, like a call. I had to do it, and then I did it.
And if you
And
could
now
do
I'm
it during
so
COVID,
happy.
you could do it. You could do anything. That's
Well, if you say so. I'm already thinking of a feature film. Then because I like the writing part so much, and I felt like I was in control
mm,
about for of my own story, of my acting, about everything. I was in charge, and I could, I don't know, I could give it a certain direction, and I liked the way it went. Of course, I had Christian, and it wasn't always easy. We argue,
yeah.
but only where you argue, only there creativity can emerge, you know, can
Mhm.
grow. And it's like, it's not like somebody has to talk the way I talk or see the things I see them. Sometimes something bigger comes out of it if you add your values and add your visions and add your energy. It's also about energy. And I have the feeling that I had to start a book, which I did. So that's one of the next projects.
Lovely.
I'm writing a
Congratulations.
thriller,
Oh,
two actually, even two, and it's very interesting. One is yeah, they're both interesting. I love psycho thrillers
yeah.
mostly, and also I love. I'm a huge Harlan Coben fan. That's someone
Cool.
that always has, you know, cliffhangers, and you think you understood the story, and then it changes. And I love that. I love the journey and the explorations of your thoughts and minds and ideas and things that are not so obvious. I love that
Yeah.
a lot. And also, I love it when you have like in Dexter. I mean, that's not exactly what I want to do, but if you can be part of the protagonist and you are inside his head and you follow him, all the thoughts when he says, well, I shouldn't kill her, but maybe I think about it again. Like that. If you are a part, I mean, we all think thoughts, right? That nobody should ever listen to because they're so out of the, I don't know, out of everything. They just come and go. But I find it so interesting to be in somebody's head and to watch them think and develop and doing that journey. And I don't know, it's very exciting. I love to do something like that as
I
a
really
feature film, a
like that
major.
you mentioned that you are writing more thrillers because I loved that element of this film is you had
Yes.
the black and white and it gave it that classic mysterious film noir quality that I thought added this lovely layer and almost a sense of intrigue of where are we going so that it almost subverted genres and I thought that was a really interesting choice to use to explore this topic.
Oh, thank you, Hannah. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that you can perceive it that
Yeah.
way because that was the idea. I wanted to confuse the audience in a way, or the people that watch it, because they should think maybe there's gonna be a murder happening or
Yeah.
so. And then I dissolve that is actually ourselves. That
Mhm.
is our biggest enemy most of the times, of course, but
Yeah.
also like the idea that something could happen and you don't know what could happen. It was like my yeah, it was my first movie ever, and that inspired me to go the next step maybe,
Yeah.
and to entertain, but also I think to inspire people, to have them thinking. And I find if you have this voiceover thing, you have a deep connection with your audience because
Mhm.
they understand your motivations and everything a lot better because they can follow your thoughts and they can
Yeah.
follow your your inner callings and your, I don't know how to put it, something that drives you, your
Yeah.
motivation. And because you could explain to them a lot more than just through pictures and through visuals. if
Yeah.
they are participating in your inner motivations, your thoughts and your wounds and fears and I don't know, even a bit of love. They can be part of you and
Yeah.
so understand you a lot better. You have a deep connection with the audience if they can listen to your thoughts while you're showing them the pictures.
There
It's
was
an
a
extra
nice,
level that you know.
yeah, there's a nice intimacy of that. It almost feels
Yes,
like,
that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
yeah, like
Intimacy.
you're
Yeah,
talking to a best friend or the things that you don't want to share with others. And it feels like
that's it.
audience, there's a danger almost in like, we're being told this, like this is a little
Yes,
more
and
raw,
also
intimate.
they
Yeah.
discover parts about yourself that you usually tend to hide because you're not sure. We all have insecurities, and you're afraid that if they know your real thoughts about things, that they might not like you. But
Yeah.
I find that the more you know about someone, the closer you get, the deeper the sensation gets, the deeper the love gets for the character. Like we remember. Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter, when how he puts things and how he says them because he's so free. He's behind bars. He can say anything
Yeah.
because he's already locked there. And the way he puts it, you feel so much empathy and sympathy, and also you feel a deep connection with him. You tend to understand that. I mean, basically, he ate people, and you sit there and you think, what a fine man! How he describes the fine arts or the music or this and that, and you're so connected with him, and
Yeah.
you begin to understand him, and you think it's a logical consequence that he had to eat that violinist or whatever he was because he played the wrong tones. It's so it makes sense in that very moment. It would never make sense if you just you see someone and they tell it, but he leads you to his inner beliefs and to his inner beauty, that even the abyss is part of it, and you seem to accept it because it's a whole. Then if you
Yeah.
accept one part, then the other one, where there's light there is darkness, or yeah, shade.
Yeah.
Everything is connected. We are not always only positive or only, I don't know, optimistic. Sometimes we have real doubts and everything. But the more we come to understand the other person, I think the deeper the connection gets. And this is, I think, what I want to do when I act, and maybe when I do a next movie, if when it happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that interesting
I
and
love that.
and deep. And I think that is what I'm looking for. Since I'm not 20 anymore, I have the feeling I'm looking for intensity,
Hmm.
energy and intensity. That is something that really drives me to meet people that feel that too, and to make use of the remaining time that we all have. I mean, you're way younger, but I feel young sometimes, but sometimes I feel like 150. It depends on the days. I have it all. Sometimes I feel like a child, but I want to feel something. I think it's about really feeling something, have a sensation. And this is what I'm looking for with connections, with people, with
Mhm.
things I do, with movies I watch, with books I read. You know if that does something to you. And this is what we are looking for. It's almost like a little drug, but we have to feel something. I
Yeah.
want to feel something.
And I
I
think
think this
that's
is
the transformative nature of honesty, right? And seeking that honesty.
very true.
I love that.
Honesty is a beautiful word.
It's, yeah, it's super transformative. And when people see it, they almost can't deny it. So I can imagine that when you're explaining how people reading this project automatically
Yes,
jumped on board, I think it's because you found a really honest exploration of some really uncomfortable topics also in aging, especially for a woman, in
yeah,
acknowledging the sorrow in the fading of beauty, in this envy of youth, in the
yeah,
rawness
you
of
say
saying,
it, the
I'm done.
envy of youth,
Yeah.
because this, no matter what, no matter how rich you are, no matter how privileged you are. You cannot buy that. You
No,
can try. We saw that with Demi Moore's movie, I think The Substance also.
that's the one.
Can try, but you will always lose.
Yeah.
It's a fight you will never win.
Yeah.
You will not, you have to fight another battle, but this battle, you cannot, another fight, you cannot win that. You
No.
cannot gain your youth back. And this is something you can, even if you have billions for that. And it's like buying time, buying youth, buying things. And this makes it so very precious. And so yeah, so desirable. And to put up with that is a very honest thing. And also to mention it is a very, very honest thing, because I'm still looking good for my age, but
Yeah,
it's
you are.
always the relative clause for my age, you know.
Mm.
It's not, you cannot compare myself with someone else, and so you have to accept it. You have to accept it and still love you and still be able to love life. And this is a big test, and you can be sure you will have to travel this journey too, and
Yeah.
everybody. And I want to spread some comfort that I say, okay, I did it. It was hell,
Yeah.
but I evolved from that, and
Yeah.
now I'm loving my life again. I found a way to re-love my life, and this is the message of the movie. Because in the end, all we got is now, right? We don't
Yeah.
know if we have tomorrow or next year, so we accept it. We
Yeah.
accept the moment and the thing I love now, because I don't know if I have the chance tomorrow.
And I like that that final moment of the film really struck me, and I think it encompasses it perfectly. Of we panned, so you're singing, great singing, by the way. I loved
Thank
that. I
you.
thought that was
Thank you.
beautiful. And it was so neat to see. It's almost like a future you coming to your younger self and sending this message so that
Wow, you put that
maybe,
in perfect
is
words.
that what
You
the
put that,
intent was? I was
it
going to
could
ask
have
what
been
the
part
intent
of
was.
my script. You put it in perfect words.
Oh,
You
okay,
perceived it
that's
so well.
wonderful.
Thank you so much. Because I was struggling a bit to re-put it in the right words, but you put it perfectly. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
I thought that was a really striking moment. And it's always like, sometimes I'll do some sort of guided meditations where you go back to your younger self.
yeah.
And
I love that too, by
felt
the way. I love
yeah,
that
it's
too.
very powerful to look at your own
Yeah,
journey. But don't
yes,
we wish that we had our older self from the future coming back to say, hey, relax, enjoy the moment. It's all
yes.
a ride. You're going to be okay. I
and
think that
and it's a
it's,
very there comes, I do that also with binaurale beats. I don't know if you call it in English binaurale beats. Binaurale is a very deep sound that is going to, and then I have this meditation, guided meditation. It's a woman, but a good woman's voice, and she goes down, 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 really down to the bottom with yourself. And I feel really that I'm losing up, you know. I feel so relieved when I do that. And some people say I cannot do guided meditations, but I love it
yeah,
because I can fully let go, and I know somebody's taking care of my journey. I'm protected.
yeah,
I don't have to put effort into it. It comes like a flow, and I'm just floating there, and it's perfect. And what afterwards, I feel so re-energized. That is
yeah.
super.
And that's
I
that's
like that
been the
also.
effect of your film almost. Like we are taken
Oh,
on this journey, the highs and the lows. And what a great uniter I really loved about your piece was the poetry throughout.
oh yes.
It was so
Oh,
nice.
that's also a
The
nice
voiceover.
word, a great
Yeah.
uniter. That is also beautiful. Yeah, because it's like the poems are, it's like dying young, or I think poems and quotes are really reduced to the max. It's wisdom reduced to the max, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
Sometimes you read a whole book and you don't get a message that one quote could give you, you
Yeah.
know. It's so, it's a gift to have a quote and be able to be reminded and remember it at the right time. That is perfect. That
Yeah.
is just, we all strive and look for some kind of comfort during our life journey, right?
Yeah.
And when we know that there are certain things that helped us in a certain situation, I always write them down. This is also why I had the poems. I wasn't looking for them because I thought, oh, I need another poem or I need another quote. I had them in my little book. I was
Ah,
collecting them
lovely.
over the years, and I was so happy to like a sponge to absorb everything. And when the moment is right, I felt like,
Right.
no, I have to give it back.
Yeah.
This is the feeling of we gather things, we absorb things, and then we meet someone that might need one of our little treasures, we can give it back. You know,
Yeah.
it's like we always just keep things, borrow them, and give them on. It's like an Olympic flame. It's like life itself.
Yeah.
We collect, we get it, and we have to pass it on somehow. So it can be through a child, through inspiration, giving a hand to somebody that is struggling, or showing it through a movie.
Yeah.
That's our possibilities we are having as living creatures in order to make life better for us and for others.
And you've
That's the
now have
contribution we
this,
have.
you have this flame now that's out in the world. What has you're showing at festivals kind of across the globe, both in Germany and internationally? So what has the response been from those who have seen it?
Well, to put it in a quick sentence, we won already 37 awards. Yes,
Just a casual
37, but
37.
not only for me, for the whole team. We got best music in the Eastern European Film Festival. I got a recognition as, I think, Critic Choice Award in Bangkok. Best actress, I got it somewhere in India. I don't know. Christian knows it better than myself. We I got a recognition also in Eastern European Film Festival. I got another award. I don't know. Sometimes they call award of merit, whatever this is. I hope not of mercy. It sounds similar, but we got also for the camera, also for the screenplay. We have some awards, and there's still some festivals that were selected, and we have to wait what comes out of it. But the best was actually your audience feedback. I love that
Oh,
so much from the
wonderful.
Wildstone Film Festival because it's something we will post it, but we will wait, I think, until July or August. And then we already have templates that we have a
Lovely.
beautiful photographer made that for us. He has a beautiful site. He is beautiful, but he also has a beautiful site. And so we will post it on Instagram. We will tag you also because I like that so much because you seem to understand the movie so very well that
Mhm.
I thought, Jesus Christ, they really saw the
I
movie
get
and
it.
they got the idea. And
See?
I was really touched. It really, Christian said, you should listen to that. Wait, are you ready? And now we got that from you. And I was completely overwhelmed because you perceived it so well. You really watched it and you really thought about it. And I thought, yes. And then this already made it all worse, because
Yeah.
somebody really understood the message. And there's the saying, somebody said, I don't know who said that, but it's of course a quote. If you only made the life of one person better or improved it,
Yeah.
it means you have to live well. I don't know if it was Ralph Waldo Emerson, but it could be.
Yeah.
And that this is how I live. I think if I do a lot for street dogs and stuff. And I think if I could, even if they're starving tomorrow again, but at that very moment, I could make a difference and I made it. And
Yeah.
then I feel good and I save my soul in a way. And this is the
Yeah.
thing, even if only one person feels a little bit better after watching Seconds in Eternity, then we already achieved our goal. That's what I think.
Hmm. And it's clearly, yeah, making that impact. And it's clearly resonating with
And
audiences
I'm
worldwide.
very, very glad that you say that. It's
Yeah.
like it's already, yeah, I'm already happy just for that.
Oh, that's
And
lovely. And what's next for you? You were telling me earlier that you've got another role on the horizon.
yes, that yesterday the movie is called The Fall of Ascent, whatever that is implying. I met the director just yesterday in Cologne, and my role will be a senator.
Yeah.
governor, senator, and the role name is Catherine Sexton. As I said, that is one thing, but it will only be shot as of 26.
Wow.
Also, I have my own theater play. I wrote that with a fellow colleague. It's called Jukebox Divas, and I sing two of my own songs. One is like Tiefrot wie die Liebe, that means deep red like love. And the song is about red wine, but you think it's about love. And it's
Same
it's
thing.
it's a it's a nice surprise in the end. And the other one is called My Life Should Sparkle Like Champagne.
Oh.
I'm singing that, and just now I wrote my fifth song. It's called One Last Night, and it's a German blues. It will be interesting. My
Whoa.
son, my son is the pianist also for the song No Need for Dances on My Grave. I write the lyrics, and then he composes the music to all my songs. His
Wow.
biggest yeah, his biggest dream is to have his own piano bar, like in La La Land, like Sepp's bar also. That is what he wants. He's a fantastic, brilliant pianist. So when I say something and say, "Can you play me a melody goes like this and that, a little bit like Rolling Stones, like this and that, or that and that," and then he does it. Or I say it has to be a bit like Johnny Lee Hooker or Lynn Gray. Can you play that? Duh, duh, duh. And then he makes a whole melody out of it.
What
This
a
is
dream.
very luxurious, I tell you,
Yes.
Hannah, that I have that.
My own
But
private piano player. That is
I love that.
lovely. Oh, well,
I love that. That is his language, you know. You
yeah.
tell him something. I said, play a melody about rain in July, and then he plays something, and you have the feeling, yeah, this is rain
Better
in
than
July now.
AI. Who needs
Yes.
AI? We
Oh,
need the
oh,
creator.
nobody needs AI. I hope AI never replaces our
No.
beautiful, beautiful human creativity, because what comes out of it, it's real. We have to be
Yeah.
real. We have to stay real. You know, AI is very tempting,
Yeah.
because
The
I also wrote a piece, and then I asked Meta AI in my WhatsApp thing, so can you check, could I do it better? And then it made me suggestion, and I was like, hell no, this is a
no.
complete different thing. And
I'm
I
gonna.
was scared how wrong it went, yeah. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's tempting if you look for things, but it should never replace us as human beings, because that is what we are, human in the
Mhm.
end. We are human. And this is something we should never forget,
Yeah.
even if it's so easy to use it. And I hope we will do movies and write books and sing and talk like humans all the time, forever and ever. That's what I
And I
hope.
think your film really inspires that. So, for anybody listening or watching who hasn't seen Seconds for Eternity, absolutely check it out. And we'll make sure to put some links to your work for those who are curious. But I want to just say a huge thanks. This was a really inspiring talk. I feel invigorated to head out on my day and I want to create now. So, thank you so much for joining
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you so much. You have such a positive attitude that
me.
it really opens the people up. Thank you very, very much for having me.
Thank you.